Hey, welcome to Broken World Entertainment. And you know Star Wars is in good hands when one of your shows is being promoted as being Frozen meets Kill Bill. Yes, we are of course talking about Leslie Headland's The Acolyte. And between everything she says and what members of the cast say, you truly realise, oh, these people are morons. The actors should not speak without a script because they are full-on morons and they really have no clue what Star Wars is or ever was. So check this out. The Acolyte executive producer Leslie Headland appeared at Star Wars Celebration and provided some new details about the upcoming Disney Plus show, specifically noting the series tells the story from the perspective of the villains. Now that part will be important when we get to the actors. Unfortunately, it doesn't end there. She said, I think one of the things that would be helpful to kind of put in perspective is that we're at the end of the High Republic era and moving more into George's era of the Phantom Menace. So my question became, as a fan, remember this is the woman who couldn't name a Star Wars film. She said she doesn't have a favourite Star Wars film, there is only Star Wars. When I initially pitched the show to Kathleen Kennedy, which was an original idea with new characters and not connecting it to Skywalker or any of the existing characters in the High Republic, Headland continued, what I wanted it to introduce the fans to the concept to, what, by the way, this is how these people talk, between saying kind of and like, it's so annoying. Where was a Skywalker Saga or any of the existing characters in the High Republic, what I wanted it to introduce the fans to the concept to was how do you reconcile the Jedi at the height of their power, the galaxy at the height of this age of enlightenment and peace, and who George says they became at the top of the Phantom Menace. This gets better, by the way, what she says. And to me that meant, why don't you tell a story about Star Wars from the perspective of the villains, of the bad guys? And if those bad guys are outnumbered at this point, then that means that you get this opportunity to see how the Jedi very words are hard, subtly go from who they were in the High Republic and the Old Republic and who they became by the time you're watching episodes 1, 2 and 3. You've literally said your show is in between the High Republic and the Phantom Menace. But now you're talking about how it became the Old Republic. The Republic didn't become the Old Republic until episode 3. That is when the Republic fell to the Empire. Clearly, someone that doesn't have a clue about Star Wars. Now, she also went on to say, think of it as Frozen meets Kill Bill, which makes no sense. But remember, she says it's from the perspective of the villains, from the bad guys. Well, let's see what the actors have to say, shall we? How about Charlie Barnett, who said while being interviewed at Celebration, I would say a battle of power. He then continued, I mean, the best parts about Star Wars is there is no good or evil. Let's stop right there, shall we? There's no good or evil. Sorry, Palpatine, you must have just been misunderstood. The Galactic Empire? Pfft, they were pussycats, what are you talking about? What do you mean when Anakin Skywalker led stormtroopers, at that time also clone troopers, to the Jedi Temple and slaughtered hundreds and thousands of Jedi, including the younglings? You know, when he walked into that room and that little dude jumped up and said, Master Skywalker, there's too many, what are we going to do? He didn't light up that lightsaber to kill them. No, it was a nightlight. No good or evil. Don't worry, he contradicts himself. But he continues, it depends on what side you are standing on, truly. He explains, you can look at any angle and see yourself relay through all the characters. Darth to Luke. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're saying you haven't a fucking clue what Star Wars is. Which Darth? Maul? Sidious? Plagueis? Revan? Or do you mean Darth Vader? That's right. This dipshit thinks Darth is his name. His name is Vader, not Darth. Here's where he contradicts himself. Bennett then went on to provide more details on how the Acolyte reshaped Star Wars. This show is truly about that balance of power and balance of good versus evil, and realizes so much of it starts at the root, truly. So let's put that into perspective, shall we? Because he just said the best part about Star Wars is there is no good or evil. And then follows up by saying it's about balance of power and the balance of good versus evil. Not to mention the showrunner, the executive producer, Leslie Headland, Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant, said, this is going to be from the perspective of the villains. It gets better. Oh, it gets better. As our main actress for the show, whatever the hell her name is, can't remember, don't care. She just went on a rant of absolute nothingness and truly showed how much she doesn't know about Star Wars. So she got asked, what could she say? Don't say too much, but what can you say? So she responded, okay, well, let me try to talk about this without getting fired or murdered. So my character, you know, she's a powerful leader. And then proceeds to go, yes, yes. As soon as she did it, all I could think of, have you ever seen the clip? That's the T-Rex from Jurassic Park, but it's called the gay dinosaur. And the T-Rex is like, you see all the scenes from all the Jurassic Parks with the T-Rex, and it's building up to the big roar, the T-Rex roar, and instead it puts its head up, it opens its mouth, and all you hear is, yes. That's all I could think when she did her, yes, yes. And she continued, oh, by the way, there was like 2 people clapping at that. She continued in saying, in a very woman-centered world, which I was very excited to kind of be that, because I feel like Star Wars is very like patriarchal. So it was kind of cool to have like this sort of woman-centered figure. You see what I mean about how they keep saying like kind of and like and stuff? Jesus, it's annoying. Woman-centered figure because Star Wars is patriarchal. Someone better tell Leia and Queen Padme Amidala and Mon Mothma and Ahsoka Tano and Sabine. If we dare go as far as saying even Holdo and Rey. Clearly these idiots do not know Star Wars. Oh, it's very male dominated. Never mind. All them female characters that aren't just female characters for background or anything. They're front and centre, pivotal to the story, and have power. So there you go, folks. Between two actors who couldn't string a sentence together that didn't say kind of or like in it, that showed their ignorance and stupidity and how much they do not know Star Wars, to the creator of this, Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant, who, by the way, when came out on stage, first said it was like a catwalk on RuPaul's Drag Race. It's the first thing she said. Good God. So her show is Frozen meets Kill Bill with a bunch of people who haven't a clue about Star Wars. Star Wars has saved everyone. Are you so looking forward to its future of crashing and burning? Yeah. Anyway, with that, I'll leave it there for this one, because these people haven't a clue. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.